I'll be supporting the government on third reading. I was very keen to support the amendments, which I think would have strengthened the bill. I recognise that the country is deeply concerned about uncontrolled migration, but I think this bill is an improvement on the status quo, and therefore it would be a mistake to oppose it.
But of course, last night you were amongst the 60 rebels who voted against it. How do you explain that to your viewers?
No, I didn't vote against the bill, and I voted today in favour of amendments as well. I'm surprised you're missing parliamentary procedure.
Forgive me. Forgive me. I meant amendment.
Which sets out the principle of the bill. Yes, but voting in favour of amendments is not voting against a bill. It's voting for a bill to do more in these circumstances, to make the bill stronger and to make it more effective. So what we were trying to do was to help the bill achieve its objectives. Those of us who voted for the amendments share the government's objective. We want to control migration, we want to have the Rwanda scheme work, and we want to stop the European Court interfering to prevent people being removed. Now, the government didn't accept those amendments haven't passed, so the decision on third reading is this bill better than where we were before, or is it worse? And it is better. It could have been better still, but in the old cliche, it's always a mistake to make the best the enemy of the good.
So you voted against the government by supporting those amendments, and then you're voting with the government tonight. It's confusing for people who look at you and think, well, the Tory right is imploding yet again, letting down...
You're getting extremely muddled by parliamentary procedure. Voting in favour of an amendment is actually supportive of the government's objective. That the government felt it couldn't go that far was because it felt there were other constraints on other sides. I don't think this is confusing. My viewers who watch loyally between 8 and 9 o'clock understand this straight away, even if stand-ins doing the programme don't get it.
Well, it's clear as mud to some people, Jacob. I'm glad you see it so clearly in Westminster Hall. And where now you think it should go through tonight? What's how many of your colleagues might rebel, do you think?
It's always very difficult to predict, and most of my predictions on parliamentary votes are wrong, so I take this with caution, but I think the government will get its business through.
And what's next then? It'll go straight to the House of Lords, where they're going to rip it apart. We heard on your programme tonight, I'm not sure if you heard it, but Kate Hoey saying it will be amended to an inch of its life and come back to the House of Commons in a few weeks' time.
No, I haven't heard any of the programme today because I've been voting on the various stages of the bill, so my apologies to my viewers being absent, though with leave today. The House of Lords will obviously be difficult on this. It's stuffed to the gunnels with lawyers. It's stuffed to the gunnels with rabid pro-European, the most Europhile of Europhiles, who kowtow to the European empire at every opportunity. So yes, that will be a difficult passage, but the will of the Democratic House must prevail. And let me reiterate how important this is to voters. There was a really important opinion poll that showed that in almost every single constituency, Bristol Central was a rare exception, the majority of our voters, our electors, our employers want to go further than even people like me were advocating. So it's really important for the sake of democracy that this particular piece of legislation, and indeed stronger pieces of legislation, are passed.
OK, well, thank you, Jacob.